Oh, hi there.
I'm Kyle with Art Outdoors, and today we're talking about how to true a wheel. To understand how a spoke works a little bit more, we can look at this spoke that came out of one of our broken tires. If you look at it, you'll see that there's two pieces. There's this spoke itself and the nipple. The nipple will sit inside of the rim of the tire, and the spoke will sit onto the hub of the wheel. Once they're together, it screws in just like a bolt and a nut together. And so that would be what you're screwing in inside of the wheel. To do that, you'll take your key and make sure that it fits the spoke that you have. And then you'll be using that to actually adjust the spoke itself. For us, for this specific spoke, it fits our red key, which will then allow us to turn it one way or the other once inside the wheel. To begin, you're first going to make sure that your wheel is properly dished. To do that, you're going to use a wheel alignment gauge or a dishing tool. To do that, you're going to use two blocks on either end and line them up with the rim on your tire. Then you're going to move down the metal slide so that it lines up with the bolt on the end of the tire. Once you have that lined up, flip the tire over, and then make sure that it is also aligned with the bolt on the other end of the tire. If you have a big change or something like that, where you know you have to move the tire over, then you'll have to loosen all of the ones on the tight end so that it can scoot over to the open end. Before you can start actually truing the wheel, it is important to go through and make sure that all spokes at least have some tension to them and you don't have any spokes which are overly loose, which could throw off which way your wheel is turning. If that is the case, then you want to go ahead and take your key and tighten up whichever spokes are overly loose. Another thing you can do is find out what tension your spokes need to be at to give you a baseline for how tight your spokes should be. To do that, you're going to use this little gauge wheel to see what the gauge of your spokes are. And to do that, you're going to go around until you find the smallest one that your spoke will fit into. So for us, that's 2. And then we know we have a steel round spoke, and then that will give us a range of numbers for our spoke to be in. And this will also give us different readings that we can dive into more in other videos. Once we have that number, we can then take our tension meter and go to each individual spoke and let it sit on the spoke by itself, and then we'll be able to read the number to ensure that that is within our guidelines. If your wheel is out of line for dishing, then what you want to do is, if you have a big gap over here but it fits tight here, then you want to tighten or loosen all of the spokes on your left side and tighten them on the right to shift over your rim towards the side that you need, and then continue rechecking with your dishing guide to make sure that it is in line. Now that you have that done, you can go ahead and put it up on the truing stand by lining up the 2 bolts on the ends with the little grooves in the side to make sure that it's sitting flush but doesn't have space to jiggle around. Once you do that, then you can align the 2 knobs on the ends of the truing guide to make sure that it is just barely rubbing the rim of the tire every so often, but not scraping consistently. Once you have this in line, then you can go ahead and spin to see where it is rubbing. And once you find a rubbing spot, then you can identify based off of the back where it is rubbing and what side you need to pull it to. If you want to pull it to the left side, you'll have to tighten the spokes on the left and loosen the spokes on the right to pull it in that direction. To do that, you'll be using your spoke key and turning, looking down at it, you'll be turning clockwise to loosen and then counterclockwise to tighten in the area that you want to adjust. For this, you should only be turning it about a quarter to half turn at a time to make sure you're not over tightening or over loosening the spokes. Once you have that area done, you can then continue to turn it until you find another area that needs to be adjusted. Once you can spin it and have no sound and visually see no rubbing between the lines, and you can go ahead and take it off the stand, and then just with your body weight, press down onto the rim to ensure that all the spokes have been loaded and are sitting in place. And if you hear like creaking, that's completely normal. It's just the spokes sitting in place a little more. Now that you have that done, you can go ahead and put it back onto the stand and spin it one more time to ensure that after loading the spokes, it's still true. If you want to see more videos like these, be sure to like, subscribe, and then comment what videos you want to see next.